Hello, my name is Emma and I am on the training and support team at Blueprint Solutions. In this video, we will be covering how to navigate your Blueprint OMS system. To begin, let's start by creating a new patient. First, head over into your patient browser. From here, we will select Add Patient. To save a new patient file, you'll want to click Add Patient in your patient browser and fill in all the fields that have an asterisk and are required. Social Security, family physician, and providers are not required fields, but if you have them, fill in the information, as it will be useful for future marketing purposes. The family physician would be the person who referred them. If you don't see their name, you can add them to your list by selecting Add next to it. If you add an email address, this will allow you to send emails, online forms, invoices, and receipts to the patient within the system. There are a few options for Do Not Mail if the patient doesn't wish to receive certain marketing outreach. Do Not Mail is the master switch and will exclude them from receiving manual marketing campaigns, as well as automated marketing campaigns. Do Not Email will exclude them from appointment reminders, automated email marketing campaigns, invitations for online reviews, and much more. Do Not Send Commercial Messages will exclude them from all marketing campaigns marked as commercial, which can be adjusted in the Marketing tab. Do Not Text will exclude SMS messages to the patient. We can now click Create Patient. Once done, it will prompt you for the referral type and source. The referral type and source is set up by your office in the Setup menu on the left toolbar. This will be useful data and will allow you to run a referral source report, which will show you how much revenue you are generating from each referral source. It will now ask you if you want to export the patient to NOAA. If you decide to integrate your Blueprint and NOAA, hit Yes. If you aren't integrated with NOAA and want to, our technicians can do this for you. It is an additional charge of $25 per month. This is an optional service. In some cases, you might need to make a sale or create an invoice for items that don't have to go through the order process. To do this, all we have to do is open the patient's file and select Sale on the left-hand toolbar. On the right, you will see 3 tabs representing your services, batteries, accessories. Choose one of the catalogs and double-click on the items to add. Once you've added everything they're purchasing, click Next. On the Allocate Cost screen, you can make pricing changes or add a discount by clicking on the line item, entering a dollar amount, and selecting Update. Once I'm ready, I can either select Create Quote to give the patient an estimate of what the invoice is going to cost, or I can simply just complete the sale. Once you click Complete Sale, the invoice will be generated. From here, you can receive and apply the payment, or again, you can go to the Sales History tab and accept a payment by highlighting, right-clicking, and Receive and Apply Payments. You are also able to email or fax the form if need may be. To sell or add a hearing aid for a patient, we will click on the patient's hearing aid tab. Each patient gets their own hearing aid tab where their information is stored. At the bottom of the screen, you will notice 2 options: Add Aid or Order New Aid. The difference between these 2 options is the Add Aid option is utilized when a patient comes to your clinic, already has active hearing aids, and we just want to get them on file. The Order New Aid option is what you will use with Blueprint moving forward to sell a hearing aid to a patient. Anytime you sell a hearing aid with Blueprint, you will follow a 3-step process. This is a process you already use at your clinic now, and you are just tracking it through Blueprint. First, you need to order the hearing aid from the manufacturer. You will then receive it into the office from the manufacturer and then deliver it to the patient. Let's start by ordering a new hearing aid for this patient. First, I'm going to select Order New Aid. You will notice that when we selected Order New Aid, it brought us to this catalog. Our team maintains this catalog for you, so whenever there is a new line of hearing aids, we add them for you. If you ever don't see what you need, you can send us a request at support@blueprintsolutions.us. Now, we will want to find the hearing aid we are looking for to give to the patient. We can use the Quick Find option to search by model name or narrow it down by manufacturer. In this example, I'm going to use Oticon. Once I find my hearing aid, I'm going to highlight it, set left for the left ear, and set right for the right ear. Once I am done, I can hit Next. Other manufacturer items are items that are considered to be going through the orderable process, but aren't hearing aids. Once you've selected the ones that you want to have included, select Next. Then, it'll bring you to Products and Services. These are other items that don't have to necessarily go through the order process. To choose one of these items, highlight, double-click, and it will be added in the Other Products and Services box. Once I have all my items ready to go, I'm going to select Next. This will then bring us to the Allocate Cost tab, where we can get a good idea of what the price is going to be for the patient. We can either create quote, or we can save the order. Since I'm ready to save my order, I will go ahead and select that. It will then ask me if I want to generate an order form. And for this example, I will select Yes. It will ask me to enter my report parameters, venting instructions, canal length instructions, or other instructions. These are not mandatory. This is what the generic order form looks like. It is your clinic's logo and your clinic address. And it will also show all the items that are being purchased. Now, let's assume that my hearing aid order has come back from the manufacturer. Once we find our patient, go to the Hearing Aid tab. We can highlight and right-click directly on the hearing aid. You will then have two options, Receive Items or Receive Item with Bill. The Receive Item with Bill will allow you to adjust the manufacturer cost. Receiving the item will default the manufacturer cost to whatever has been previously set up in your system. In this example, let's select Receive Items. Here, we can then enter in the serial numbers. This will also be where your warranty expiration and your L&D warranty will be generated as well. From here, I will select Save. Now, let's assume the patient has finally come in for their fitting. When the patient arrives, you can highlight the aid, right-click, and select Deliver All Items. Once you deliver all items, it will generate an invoice. Here you can make any final changes you want. In this example, I will give a discount. Once I'm ready, I can select Create Invoice. From here, you can choose to take a payment now or at a later time. There are two ways to take a payment. You can click Receive and Apply Payment directly on the invoice, or we can go to the Patient's Sales History tab, where we can accept a payment by highlighting, right-clicking, Receive and Apply Payments. Once I'm ready to receive a payment, all I have to do is select the amount received and the payment method. Now, if we could go back into the patient's hearing aid tab, we can see that the patient has active hearing aids and has paid their invoice. Now that we have created our new patient, let's schedule them an appointment. Start by clicking on the Scheduling tab. The easiest way to schedule an appointment is to right-click on the calendar and choose a start time. This will bring you a list of existing patients in your system. The Quick Add button will allow you to add a new patient if they are not listed. Select the patient you would like to make the appointment for. You can use your keyboard to start typing the first few letters of the client's last name, and it will bring you to where the client's information is. Select the patient and click OK. Now, we will fill out the appointment information. The location is where the appointment will be held. The calendar should list the provider who will be seeing the patient. The description box should always populate the patient's name. You can also select a referral source as to who may have brought the patient in. The Recent Interactions box will show any recent marketing outreach from the clinic. We will then select an appointment type. In this example, I'll go ahead and select Consultation. Depending on the type of appointment, these 5 boxes right below the event type might come into play. If you check the first box, Mark Busy, this means that the appointment will show up in a solid color. This will let us know that we should not double book during this type of appointment. If this box is not checked, it will show up white with a color outline. If the clients say that they will be bringing someone with them, you can check the Third Party Present tab, and that information will also be calculated into a report. The next option, the Sales Opportunity tab, will be calculated to see a sale closing rate and calculate if this type of appointment results in any sales. The Unaidable box can be included as a check option if the patient is not a candidate for amplification and appointment closing rates will not be impacted. The next option is Telehealth. Please mark this if this appointment is going to be virtual. The next box, the Notes section, will populate the patient's phone number, but you can add any notes you might like. Please note, if the patient doesn't have a phone number in the Notes box, it most likely means you don't have the phone number on file. You can adjust the date of the appointment using the arrows or the calendar icon. And you can also adjust the start time. You can also extend the duration of the appointment by using the scroll bar, or shorten the appointment. Next, we'll choose a resource. This might be a room you might be using to do the appointment in. I'll select a sound booth. From here, we can click Create Event. Now that we've scheduled an appointment for the patient, let's dive into the Scheduling tab a little deeper. In the top right-hand corner, you have the drop-down box for the location. You can select one location or all locations. You also have different calendar day views: the 1-day calendar, the 5-day view, the 7-day view, or the monthly view. The green arrows allow you to go ahead or back to view the calendar. If you want to return to today's date, select the Home icon. The Refresh button will give you the most up-to-date data. Everything in Blueprint is done in real time, so if you schedule an appointment, the doctor will be able to see it on their computer right away. At the bottom, there is also a yearly calendar that will allow you to book days, weeks, or months in advance. When you select a location, you will be able to see the providers on the left-hand side. You have the option to view all providers' schedules or view them separately. To view them separately, uncheck the box and you will only see the provider that is checked. You can also choose Color by Appointment Type, which will color code the appointments by event type. At the bottom of the screen, you will also notice this white box. This box gives you information in regards to the appointment. This can be adjusted in any way you might like, whether you want to shrink or extend, whichever one is your preference.